Hey guys, this is Smithy. Welcome to my channel. Today's video, we are going to rank all the new eyeshadow palettes that I tried for the month of January. There's not a lot. I have 7 palettes in front of me and I am excited about all of them. There's definitely no dud in this whole ranking. It's just a matter of like what color stories appear to me. So if you guys want to see how I rank these 7 palettes that I tried in the month of January, then please keep on watching. Okay, let's start off with number 7. On number 7, I have the new Poppy and Fluff Cosmetics Indigo Dreams palette. Now this palette, I feel like it definitely performs well, but I do feel a disconnect in the color story. And that can be solely like me. I definitely love the purple looks that can be achieved here. Like these tones are amazing. I love that there is a peachy, pinky shade that can be combined with the purple shade. Also green can be combined with the purple shade. Red and purple are lovely together, but I feel like this color story, if you take away the purples, then I feel like if you want to achieve like a blue look, I feel like this and this, like the tone wise, it doesn't go together. If you want to go and create a green look, you have to combine these lighter tone, mid-tone shades with this black to achieve that deeper look. Does that make sense? I don't feel like apart from the purple, like I feel like if I am dipping into this palette, I do need to dip into that purples to complete the look. Otherwise I'll have to dip into that black. And if I talk about shimmers, I feel like the shimmers are pretty, but they're not how do I say, the shimmers are pretty, but they are definitely different in formula. I love the formula of Catch here. But I feel like the shade Pure Love is definitely a little bit more drier and crumbly. Loyalty was a good shade, and Playtime is a little bit more smooth shade but a toppery shade. So let me swatch it for you guys so that you can see. Catch is definitely my favorite. This is that icy pink shade. This is the Catch shade. This is that blue purple shade, and this is that toppery shade. So I hope that you can see it here. I definitely feel the Catch and that blue purple shade is definitely the one that is more impactful, and that can be for a purpose. Like this icy shade, maybe they wanted it to put as like an inner corner pop shade. You can achieve a good look out of this palette, but I feel like the color story can definitely be improved a little bit more. But otherwise, this is like the first palette from the brand. I cannot wait to see what all comes in the future. Yeah, I really like it, but it's not my favorite. Okay, so let's move on. On number 6, I have you guys are gonna kill me. On number 6, I have Glaminatrix Cosmetics Exquisite Eyes palette. This is the green palette, the 6-pan eyeshadow palette. It's a beautiful color story. If you love greens, you are absolutely gonna love this. I feel like the variety is definitely there. I love the tones of greens that were chosen here. I feel like it's so different from each other, but you can get so much variety of looks too. Even the shimmers, I love the shimmers in this palette. I personally am not a green person. That's the only reason why it's ranking low, but quality wise, this is amazing, absolutely amazing. If you're a green lover, this can be your number 1 palette. It is so pretty. Okay, on number 5, I have the Glaminatrix Cosmetics Elevated Eyes palette. Very similar to the green palette that I spoke about. Quality absolutely A++. Not a big blue green person, that's why, but these palettes quality is absolutely amazing. I also do not dip into smaller eyeshadow palette size, so that's the only reason why am I ranking this low. It's much better than the 4-pan quad. This will only come into my mind if I think like, okay, Smithy, you need to create a blue color story, and then that is why I'll just like pick this up, because this formula is absolutely lovely. But I would not reach out for this palette thinking that let me create a blue look. Does that make sense? But the quality again is absolutely amazing. I can see myself traveling with this palette. Also, these palettes are magnetic, so that's a huge plus point there. And talking about traveling, I have traveled with the next palette so much already. This is the Elegant Eyes palette, again from Glaminatrix, and I'm actually ranking them back to back, just in the order of my preference. Elegant Eyes, it's a beautiful neutral palette. Again, I've traveled with this so very much. I really love this palette so much. Beautiful color story. but I also feel like if you do have the Barely Basic palette, which is their bigger eyeshadow palette, I feel like there's definitely a little bit of repetitiveness with that palette and this palette. It's not like exactly duping each other, but I feel like if you have that, you don't need this unless you love like a blue color story, because that palette doesn't have blues. Okay, on number 3, I have the next one, which is Entrancic Eyes palette. This is definitely my favorite out of the bunch. The looks that I have created with this palette is absolutely amazing. I love a good mauvey burgundy eye look, you know that, and this definitely checks it off for me. This color story is beautiful, absolutely beautiful. They created such magical color story. I cannot wait to see what they have coming for us in future, because I know there's a neutral palette coming and I am so excited for it. You know how I love my special like spicy neutral kind of an eyeshadow palette. I really do, and I feel like the next one is that. Okay, my top 2. Now this one, I felt like I went back and forth a lot of times, and this can be totally, they're very similar in color story. That's why I'm more confused about which is going to be number 1 and number 2. Both of them beautiful palettes. I've definitely used these palettes multiple times in my life. I really love it. If you like one color story over the other, go for it. You will not be disappointed. But let's talk about it. On number 2, I have the Snow Angel palette from Simply Posh Cosmetics, and this is a muted color lover's dream. I feel like if you love a good muted color story, you would absolutely love it. Like, I really thought that this top row is going to be very light on me, but this shows up so beautifully. But I feel like if this palette would have gone a little bit more deeper, it would have climbed up the ladder for number 1 for sure. But even though it's not going that deep, it has some beautiful tones that I absolutely love. I've often seen myself like reaching out for this palette, but also dipping into a deeper brown or a black to just deepen out my outer corners, because I do like a deeper outer corner on my eyes. I really do love this a lot, and these duochromes in the middle, they're so beautiful on the eyes. They're very shifty on the eyes, and they're very thin, so it will not crease on your eyelid too. I really love this palette. Absolutely a favorite from that brand. On number 1, we have Nomad Cosmetics Chamonix Apres Ski palette. This is such a beautiful palette. Now, very similar in the color story from the Snow Angel palette, but this, I feel like the colors are more punchy out there, because you definitely can create like more muted looks, but you also have like those punchy shades to create more colorful looks. And this has like those dusty blues and purples, those greens together look lovely on the eyes. These pinks are absolutely stunning. You can do so much with this palette, and I also feel like this palette, if you consider this as like a 3 6-pan eyeshadow palettes, you can create such beautiful monochromatic looks too. The quality is right there, the shiftiness is there, the mattes blend absolutely beautifully, and that's why this is ranking on number 1. I really love this palette very much. So those were my ranking for January. I really cannot wait to see what all comes in February. I know there are 2 palettes coming in my collection, which is already going to go in the February ranking, because I have not received it as yet, but for sure it is going in the February ranking. So stay tuned for that. But that's all for today. If you did like my video, you know what to do. Do give it a thumbs up, and also subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and ring that notification bell so that you're notified every time that I post next. I generally upload 3 videos every single week, every Tuesdays, Thursdays and Saturdays at 9 AM Eastern Standard Time. Until next time, I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.